Matt, the mortgage guy. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the tokenization of real estate. Is this the future of real estate investing? I'd love for you to chime in. Let me know what you think. What is real estate investing going to look like in 5 years, 20 years? Is this tokenization, blockchain type stuff going to take over how we invest in real estate, how we hold real estate? Stay tuned. Let's talk about it. All right, Matt, the mortgage guy, residential mortgage broker. If you want to work with me and my team, go to greatmortgagebroker.com, fill out the form, let us know where you're at. We're happy to help. If you want to connect with a great agent in your area, go to homeandmoney.com/Matt. That's the only sponsorship of the video. It's my own personal sponsorship, right? You want to work with me on some real estate stuff. But in this video, I want to talk about the future of real estate, what it's going to look like to invest in real estate, because more and more of these things keep coming across my plate. And quite honestly, it's interesting. It's an interesting discussion. So please, in the comments, feel free to give us your take, what you think about the future of real estate and this tokenization kind of trend that at least I'm seeing out there. If you don't know what tokenization is, it's the process of creating like a virtual token to represent ownership in a piece of real estate. i.e., if you were going to sell half ownership in a $200,000 property. And so half ownership is $100,000. You might split that up into, let's call it 10,000 coins that are each worth $100. And you sell each coin for $100. Each one of these coins is $100 ownership, of this 100,000 that you sold, half of the property value, and they represent a piece of that. You can do this anyway, and I've read into it and whatnot, where it's just strictly ownership, where if the person sells in the future, it's worth $110 or $130. That person could share in the profits of the rental income as a rental property. You can use it to fund projects where you're putting in X number of dollars, you're acquiring something and then adding value and selling it down the road, and then they're going to have an exit. Every $100 share is worth $180 3 or 5 years from now when they sell. 1,000 different ways to slice it, but that's essentially what it is, And instead of having paper documents that say, I own 1/100th or 1/1000th interest in this property, it's a digital token, right? So you're able to engage in transactions digitally using tokens. Benefit to this is they're flexible. It can represent, like I talked about, ownership in the real asset, the property. It can represent, interest in the debt, the mortgage. So, you could be the one selling the token, right? You could own part of this and sell the token. All kinds of different ways to go about it. And let me just show you some examples, and maybe this will help you kind of understand it. If you're like I was when I first started looking at it, where you're like, man, I'm really trying to envision what this would look like. I ran across, I think these are some younger entrepreneurial type folks that started this lofty.ai, but I came across it because they're like, hey, you want a new way to save for a down payment? I'm a guy that works with a lot of home buyers. So of course I've got home buyers that would be interested in saving for a down payment. They said, you might not be able to buy real estate now and you don't have a down payment for it, but invest in real estate through our platform. And through that, you're going to save up for your own down payment for your house. So let me show you this lofty.ai, which is a brand new company. None of these companies I'm necessarily endorsing. They're just ones that I came across that are example of all this different stuff that we're seeing in the tokenization of real estate realm, right? So here's lofty.ai, and they call it the future of real estate investing. You can invest in rental properties for only $50. Pretty neat idea, honestly. And you go to the marketplace and they say, check out this place we own in Fort Worth, Texas. We've got 346 tokens left. And I think each token is $50. When it says $50 minimum here, it's probably what that means. And IRR, for those unfamiliar, is internal rate of return, meaning they're guesstimating that you're going to get a 19.1% return on your investment if you invest in this property. And let's click on here. Maybe it'll give us some details on what exactly this investment entails. If you wanted to buy a share of 5401 Odom Avenue in Texas, pretty nice property. Check it out. 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,698 square feet. Sweet. All right. Total investment, $593,850. Each token is $50. 11,877 tokens. So I wonder if 11,877 times 50. Yeah, 593,850. So maybe if they're all in, $50 times that 11,877 equals 593. Okay, single family home. The main living unit has 4 bedrooms, 2 bath. It's for rent for $2,975. Mother-in-law suite. It's being rented separately on Airbnb for $2,750. Yada, 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 yada. So you're buying in, and I think based on what they're saying, they're projecting appreciation, and they're projecting on this internal rate of return and the cash on cash return that they're going to have annual cash flow of $4,500 from the main unit, the Airbnb, minus all their expenses. I wonder what happens if you want to pull your money out, right? Financials, documents, buying process. I bought it in May. Token offering. It's pretty darn cool. Whether you're going to invest in this or not, and whether you think, it may be risky, what if they don't rent that, and, the current market has oversaturation of Airbnbs and they can only rent 8 days a month. And so the return is not what's projected here. All these things are possible. But it's a really cool idea, if nothing else, right? Even if you don't want to invest in it. Let's see what they say in the About Us. Easy as possible for anyone in the world to diversify into real estate investing. A couple of young guys, part of Y Combinator, a couple of young entrepreneurs. Yeah, maybe I actually saw it on this news, NBC News or something that they were featured on, and that's how I came across it. But either way, really cool stuff. And the way I look at it is, if you don't know what syndications are, somebody wants to build a new apartment complex that's going to cost $6 million to build. They put in X number of dollars, they buy the land, they're going to raise $1.75 million from investors to go out and build the project, and then it's going to be worth $6 million. They're going to have it fully rented. They're going to sell it to an end buyer. Things like this happen all the time, where there's a bunch of documents drawn up, there's a bunch of paperwork involved. You got to go accredited investors, non-accredited investors. In the place of that, is this what real estate investing in syndications is going to look like a decade from now? You tell me, right? Because it's anyone's guess. Go ahead and leave your comments in the comments on YouTube. Really, really interesting stuff to think about. And there's all these other articles I ran across, literally like endless things you can find online when you talk about the tokenization of real estate. The syndications that I talked about are exactly what this Robin Land company is doing, where it's got this, multifamily condos project in New York, where they're selling tokens for $1,000 a piece, and they're selling 250 of them. And it says loan term is 24 months. Estimated APR is 8%. Whether they're creating these tokens to invest in the project, or it's just like a tokenized debt structure where you're loaning them the money and each token represents a portion of that loan, I'm not exactly sure, but it's interesting to see. And they got, I think, multiple projects going on. Let's check it out. View projects at Robin Land. loading. Got to get a faster website. Sorry, Robinland. It could be my internet. In equity pledge loan. Yeah, so some of these are just a loan, and so they're tokenizing the loan. Real estate tokenization, commercial real estate tokenization, residential real estate tokenization. I've heard about like, what are those things called? Not coming to me. You go there, it's like a vacation home, but it's not a vacation home. Timeshare, tokenization of timeshares, right? Where you buy tokens that represent a certain number of weeks at a place. I ran across this website because there's so much stuff on tokenization that this says these are the top 5 real estate tokenization companies. And I'm sure there's companies that help the companies that want to do this through all the process and the muck of like, how do you tokenize? Blockchain App Factory, real estate tokenization, AppWork, Solid Block. The list goes on and on. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think that all this stuff is just crazy like we thought it would be crazy to go to Mars, crazy like electric cars, crazy like the internet, crazy like a lot of things that have come across and been disruptors in multiple industries. Are we going to see a future where real estate investing is done like this through tokenization of a piece of the project? Your guess is as good as mine. Let me know what you think. Hopefully you enjoyed this. It's an interesting topic, if nothing else. I'll continue to watch that, and I'm sure read really interesting articles in the future about it. So thanks for joining me. And until next time, we gonna see.